Hi, I'm Mike Werley. I'm a competitive shooter here in Arizona. And in addition to the weekly matches I shoot on Wednesday nights, I also shoot a sport called GSSF. Stands for Glock Sport Shooting Foundation. So if you own a Glock, this is a great way to get started into competitive shooting. Basically, for any Glock, excluding a pocket pistol, which is a Glock 42 or 43, the little single stacks, for an indoor league, basically you have this NRA D1 target that you can see on the screen here, and you're basically what you're trying to do. You have to shoot 10 shots in 15 seconds at 5 different distances, and it gets a little bit harder as that target gets further away. The rings on the target are a little hard to see in the video. They're pretty light. I've got it as dark as I can get it. But the center ring's 4-inch diameter. It's called the X ring. It's worth 10 points. The next ring, the second ring, that's 8-inch diameter. It's also worth 10 points, called the 10 ring. The third ring is the 8 ring. It's 12-inch diameter. Shots in there are worth 8 points, and anything out of those rings, but still inside that black border, those shots are worth 5 points each. So basically you're trying to keep all your shots within the second ring for a value of 10 points. 10 shots, 5 different distances, 50 shots altogether. So the distances are 15 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet, and 75 feet, which is typically the back wall at most indoor ranges. So it gets a little harder as the target gets out there further. For pocket pistol, it's 5 shots in 10 seconds. And you have, it's nice to have the extra time. The distances are a little closer, so it's 9 feet, 15 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, and 50 feet was the max distance, which is still rather difficult for a pocket pistol. Perfect score there would be 250 points, where any other Glock top score would be 500 points. So I was able to actually shoot a 250 out of 250 earlier this year, and I'll attribute that to being able to practice on my laser ammo smokeless range. Colin Gallagher did a video yesterday, and he stated that if there was a particular target you wanted but it wasn't part of the target shooting module, you could work with their tech support and get a target added in. So I was able to do that. They were able to actually allow me to add the NRA D1 GSSF target. So I'm going to show you how you can get some great practice in the target shooting module. It's got a shot timer built into it on the right side of the screen. You'll start with a beep, and I've got part time set for 15 seconds, so I'm trying to get my shots done before that second beep goes off. Giving an indication of time. You shoot from a low ready, which is nice. They'll say stand by, beep, you raise your gun, you commence firing. If, let's just say hypothetically, it took you 2 seconds to raise the gun, get your sight alignment, sight picture, pull the trigger, that leaves you 1.44 seconds for the remaining 9 shots. You establish a cadence, you get a rhythm going. So I'm typically shooting between about 1.25 seconds split times in between shots. So I'll show you what that looks like. This program actually enables me to move the target out to those distances. Now, based on my setup in my living room, the distance of my equipment to the screen, I can't get any closer in with my target than 18 feet versus the 15 feet I want to start with. That's close enough for this, especially at as the distances go out. As the distances go out, this is actually set that the target size would be almost identical and exactly to what they would be in real life. So I posted a video a couple days ago from a GSSF match I just shot, and I videoed those distances so you can see what that looks like from the camera that's on my hat. And you'll see that it's very similar to, as the target goes out further, you'll see that. So I'm going to shoot the 5 different distances here so you can see what that looks like. Again, I'll use the shot timer built into the program. So I've got the max start delay is 5 seconds. That's random, so it'll start anywhere between 0 and 5 seconds. So sometimes it comes up on me pretty quick. Sometimes I got a little bit more time to establish my grip and such. So I'm going to start the timer, and then I'll commence shooting. Again, I can't get this target in 15 feet. It starts out at 18 feet, but everything from that point forward will be identical in real size, real time. from a low ready. .15 seconds, and you heard the beat that went off at 15 seconds. So I've got a really good grouping here. So now I'm going to clear these shots. I'll come over here, clear shots. I'm going to move it out to the next distance, which is 25 feet, and I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to stop the timer. I will start it with the laser, and I will shoot it at the next distance of 25 feet. As the target goes out, you'll see it gets the target gets smaller, which makes it more difficult. Low ready. .11.53, 15-second part-time beat. So again, I've got a good grouping. Basically, there's a saying, aim small, miss small. So I try to keep everything in that center bullseye, and I'll use the next ring as my buffer, if you will. Okay, I'm going to clear those shots. I'm going to move this out to the next distance of 30 feet. I'm going to stop the timer, and then I'll start it again with the laser gun. Low ready. .31 seconds. There's the beep at part-time, 15 seconds. I'm going to clear the shots. Now notice how the target gets increasingly smaller and more difficult. So now we're going out to 50 feet. So again, this is really realistic, giving me excellent training to practice for GSSF without actually sending rounds downrange. I'm going to stop the timer. I'm going to start it again with my laser gun. Low ready. .74 seconds. Not quite the grouping I was hoping for, but still pretty decent. Now here's a cool feature. I want to look at the shots, but I don't want to have to move it all the way in, all the way back out. There's an option here called Zoom Target right here on the left side of the screen. I'll click that, and it'll bring my target in where I can look at it. So I'm a little on the low side, which is fairly typical for me, but I'm still within that second ring, so all those shots are still worth 10 points. So even out to the fourth distance on the simulator, I still have a perfect score at this point in time. So I'm going to click the Zoom Target button again, put it back out to 50. I'm going to clear the shots, and now I'm going to go out to 75 feet. And you're going to see, again, this target gets a lot smaller and a lot harder. So I'm at 75 feet now. I'm going to stop the timer, and I'm going to start it with the laser, and we'll see how we do at 75 feet. Again, this is almost exactly identical to what I have to do at a GSSF match. Low ready. .88 seconds. My splits are a little bit over 1 second, which is about normal for me. I'm definitely trying to stay under the 15 second. So let's hit the Zoom Target button, bring the target forward, and see what that looks like. Okay, so I've got all the shots are still within the second ring. Again, some of them are low. And this shot down here, it's breaking the line, so I would get 10 points for that, so that'd be a perfect score. The only thing I don't have in here is recoil management, but again, everything's the same. I still have to keep the sights lined up in between shots for recoil, get them back on target, pull the trigger, maintain that cadence. So you see, I get a lot of really good practice for GSSF. And again, I'll say that I don't know that I could have scored as well as I do in GSSF matches, or even get a perfect score with the pocket pistol, had it not been for practicing with my smokeless range made by laser ammo. That concludes this video.